It is continued powered by World Sports Betting. It is the times. I say order today. Orlando Pirates 2, Amazulu 1. Orlando Pirates could have scored so many goals in this game. However, well done to Orlando Pirates. It's 3 points, 5 wins in 5 matches. That means 15 points. That's a very good start. And remember, Sundowns, I think last year, went on to win the first 11 games. I hope Orlando Pirates can push and push and push as well. We'll see when or how this winning start unfolds. But it was very exciting tonight. Muha Nkotha was the star of the show. He won man of the match. And of course, Mofokeng on the left-hand side as well, playing his role. Abo Mahopa as well. Everyone else, I think, kind of played their part in their attacking third as well. So it's kudos to Orlando Pirates. Full complement of the 3 points. What do you make of the game, Lindo Pep?
Yeah, Shapunjan Kulek.
Yes, sir.
I think Bulisu Tso, Bulisu Junior, Bulisu Chasti, Bulisu Bobo Mneti, Shapunjan Bafet. Artisi Pule Gangan Kulek. Yeah, congratulations to Orlando Pirates. Congratulations to the technical team, the players. Yeah, an interesting game. Obviously, it's the 5th win, which is very important for them.
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. Congratulations to the players. I think the question of consistency, there were so many questions in the start of the season as to whether they will win the first 5. Credit to Amazulu with regards to how they started the game. They looked very good in the first 20 minutes. Credit to Richard Ofori. I think he had an incredible game, but I was very impressed with Amazulu with the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes of the game. I felt that they kept the ball a little bit better. We saw the identity. We saw what the coaches are trying to do. We saw some training groundwork where you would see the goalkeeper trying to be involved. Richard Ofori in a high pressure zone. You would see Abo Phillies playing negative passes, playing sideways passes, but they were trying to keep the ball. You would see Ben Mutswari trying to come and support, Ethan Brooks coming closer to the ball to come and support, but they were toothless because their front three were playing narrow. You had Boniface, who are something in and Uhaba. And then you had Umuremi, who I felt in the first half was effective, but not effective in the second half. You had the striker, of course, the tall guy, Igakaru, who I felt would have been very influential for them, more especially with having 2 wingers who are playing narrow closer to him so they can move off him. I think that was the game plan, to say, don't allow the wingers to go too wide. Have people that can run off him, because his best quality, I think, we hold up play and then bring in the wingers into play. And then they would use Ohana Mop to bring in the crosses, and they will use Uchoe Josta to bring in crosses. Because if you look at the technical structure, it looks like a 4 on paper. But when you're watching the game, it's actually a 5 with Umupara adding as a third center back. And then in position of the game, you will see him adding into midfield when they have the ball. But I was very impressed, like Njobangisho, with Ethan Brooks, more especially in the first half, with him, Angasabi. It's something being a question. Because when you profile the boy, you are saying, is he a 10? Because as a 10, you need a final pass. Or run behind the defense, be creative. As a 8, we want to see control. Right, we want to see forward passes, we want to see progressive passes, And today, I guess, in the first couple of, when the game started, that's what you saw. You look at the Orlando Pirates, they were not allowed to play in midfield today. By the pitch, Yabana Ramazulu, but closer their center line, and they allowed. And this was a dilemma between Umutswari and Ethan Brooks, was to consolidate the 2 defensive midfielders, which is Umakaula no Mbata. But if not, then consolidate the 2 fullbacks. If not the fullbacks, then consolidate the wingers. They had a choice to make. They chose to close the midfield and open the 2 wide space. You can't close everywhere in football. They opened the wing. They chose to open the wing. They thought, probably the coaches thought, allow them to have balls on the wing. You are not dangerous. You can't score from a cross. You know what I mean? But you look at the tactical structure, they allowed the Orlando Pirates, but I felt that's where Orlando Pirates won the game, in my opinion. You're looking at a player like Nkotha, who was very influential. I felt that in the first half, they played too many diagonal balls, right? More especially those balls were coming from the consolidation phase, from deep. But when they started moving the ball in the progressive line, just after the center line, where you would see Nkotha playing those diagonal balls to Urile, or Urile Ushaying Kunzi's pass. Urile Namhlange Bonise another profile of his game.
He didn't have to take people on.
No. Today he showed us a different profile. That's why we had said with that boy, with how he's growing and his profile, I think in the future he might be a number 10. Because you look at vision, decision making, the pass in Kulego. This boy has the ability to play 30-meter pass accurate. How many balls did he give Nkotha, who I felt could have scored so many goals? But you look at that first goal, Orlando Pirates, very influential. Passing outside foot, confidence from this boy. And credit to Jorge Rivera for giving these Orlando Pirates youngsters confidence and trust. Because you can see they look happy, they look energetic, And they have so much confidence. Angeke udlale ibhola ungana confidence. Football needs confidence. You see the boy nange outside foot. Unkotha receive ibhola ngo right. He turns. He doesn't even look at the goal. He understands. He believes in himself. Nkuleko, the boy. The boy has quality. That left foot is special. It's a sweet left foot. Picks a spot. Top corner. Just near
I was about to ask, could he have done better in that first? Not taking anything away from the goal. It's a beautiful goal. It's a rocket. Can the goalkeeper do any better there?
Yeah, first point, I felt that he could do better, but I think it's a rocket also. I think Ushawa is speed of the ball there. I think maybe if I were to give him the benefit, I would say do better, but to give him the benefit of the doubt, I think there was venom in that shot. I think that shot had so much power. A good goal. What I like is the gesture that the boy does after scoring, goes and celebrate with the coach. But the boy, these boys have two different, and this is something in modern football, which is maybe double positioning. There was a period where you saw the boy trekking back with Dino van Rooyen, maga injar. I hope the boy abe sharp with Dino van Rooyen. There was a period where he covered as a right back, winning so many balls.
Yeah.
They are small. They are small in their bodies, but they are very strong and very arrogant. They don't lose the ball easy, which is very important. This is one of the qualities that Lionel Messi has and he used to have. Or Sasena Namanji to say, yes, he might be walking Gubangati, he doesn't move with the game, but what he has is the ability to pick a pass as well. You know what I mean? The boy can pick a pass. The boy understands his role. He understands what it means to play for Orlando Pirates. The very same Ngoril. I want to speak a little bit about Utito. Utito, for me, this season, in the last two games, I think he's played very well. I think in this game, he played very, very well. You would not see that because we always want Utito to do things.
He's interpreting his number 10, I think, in a way that a lot of people who've played that position, including Tovila, of course, and of course people ourselves will watch the game as we're asking this question, and you even ask this question of, so the way that you're interpreting your number 10, you're almost playing it as a number 8. In the sense that you're moving. Someone would say it's positional ill discipline, in a sense that we cannot find you in one place, but then there's a freedom of him finding him in spaces where he's comfortable playing that number 8 position as well. I suppose ngumfuto we game, ngumlilo we game, you're going to ask him questions about that because you want him to be not necessarily next to the striker, but be found more in the final third as opposed to your own center line.
Yeah, you know what? I think he collects the ball as a number 8.
Yeah.
Collects the ball deeper, close to Umbata. One of the reasons, Nkulego, I think it's a tactical detail. I think they always have 3 number 10s in the pitch. One of the responsibilities of Urile today was to go a little bit more special to introduce Sumako.
Sure.
One of the responsibilities Garile was to play a little bit half space on the left, not too full wide. But now you have Unkota, who also can drift in as a 10 when Utito drops a little bit deeper. So I think the interchange of position, Jobang Chelangeti, I'm a number 10 Pirates as a double position. You'll find Utito more as an 8 because why? He helps you build a process when you need an extra man. More especially when after the press, because what Utito is good at is he also is not a player that loses the ball easy. He's got a good half turn on him and a progressive pass. He's a player that plays with the arrogance, energy generate. And then now you'll find that Uhoto Pumile in the build-up phase, in the consolidation phase as well as Umako or Dino van Rooyen. And then you will see Unkota coming in as a number 10 to add a different dimension as an inverted winger with a left foot, with a stiff left foot. Or Urile would come into that space to add a number 10 with the right foot and inverted winger as well.
The reason why I caveated my comment on this by saying that Umfuto game is that when you're dealing with the Champions League, a higher level, the movement of your original position will mean that you are leaving someone alone. So, for example, if a team is tactically disciplined, they will have their right back and their left back and their number 4 and their number 5. All of this, and then their number 6 in front of them. All of this interchanging of positions will then take away the detail that's very crucial. That as a left forward, you always have to see the right fullback. You always have to be in his vicinity. Whether we are Mlanda or you're just making sure that he's not adding number on the other side as well. So it looks good in low-profile matches like this, but in high-profile matches, it means Alu Dieng Al Ahly, you are leaving him alone. Ali Malul, left wing back Al Ahly, you are leaving him alone because you're not tactically disciplined in terms of your position. So it can be fancy and double position, but there's a point where it needs to be structured. There's a point where Maswanganyi needs to be a number 10, not standing because Utemba Zwane as well. He interprets number 10 differently. He doesn't just stand on the D line. He moves around. He almost plays it an 8 sometimes, but primarily his job is to be a number 10. So it's good when it's good in a low profile game, but at a higher level, there will be questions about that.
Yeah, because if you look at even the profile Gatito, he's not a number 10 that will run behind the defense.
Yeah.
So I think it's a tactical flexibility from the coach. And credit to Jorge Rivero for this, for identifying that Utito is a different profile. Even on Umshishi. Umshishi is not a number 10 that will run behind. But he's a number 10 that will probably help you build a process, will help you in terms of regenerizing a game and playing in the game and moving with the game. They move a lot with the game. They're not number 10s that sometimes they are away from the game and then they would surprise you. They are always in the game. They are always involved. But also, it's more than football. I think one of the responsibilities is because teams attack a fullback. The number 10s, both wingers, they need to come inside to occupy so that a fullback are occupying. So the reason for that is because now they allow Tito to have a free role so that I move, so that one player can occupy that space. But if you look at the tactical structure, Orlando Pirates, you are right. I can agree with you by saying defensively, Utito, if we are playing against the best teams in the league or in the best teams in Africa, he needs to be tactically disciplined, more especially out of position, because sometimes he might jump onto the next line and they make that midfield vulnerable. Because we've seen in Orlando Pirates that if you really dominate them and you close the midfield, they struggle to think, they're struggling in creativity, and they struggle to deal with the ball, defending.
There's so many bugs.
Yeah,
yeah, so let's
you know what, Nkulego? You're right. Tactically, I feel that tactical discipline needs to be had, more especially in big games, where he's going to have to understand what the team needs from him.
What's your takeaway with the finishing in this game? Because I am not exaggerating.
Yeah.
Anyone who didn't watch this game, this is a 7 or 8 goals for Orlando Pirates in this game.
Yeah.
That's not a criticism. They should have had 7 goals in this game. It was exciting. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
What's your takeaway with the finishing? And what do you think the coaches would be saying to them? Congratulations for the 3 points, but there is a but there.
Yeah, Nkulego, sometimes you can't take the cake and eat it. Right? They created 13 chances. Don't worry, but that's why about these stats bikini, Nkulego. When you're looking at the stats, the match stats, that's why I don't even focus on that. It's 13 shots, but it says Orlando Pirates only had 3 shots on target, which for me it's a shocker.
No.
That's what the stats says. There's a Mabasa chance, who I felt he could have scored. There's a Nkota chance he could have punished in the box.
Nkota would have had 3 or
4
because there were blocks.
Yeah.
Like if someone is blocking him as he's taking a shot, whether that counts as a shot on target or not. And there's also Ndlondlo as well, who decided not to put it along the ground. He gave Ofori a free shot to save as well. Orlando Pirates could have scored 7 goals.
Yeah, they could have scored 7. But Nkulego, you can't take the cake, more especially with the young boy, right? The boy scored 2 goals. I think you don't want to take the cake and eat it. You congratulate the boy, but you are very harsh on the side, away from the senior players, to say those chances you finish, my boy. But he's a 19-year-old, room for improvement. The senior players, Nkulego, bashlule punish lama chance lawa. For me, the boy has shown Lindo Pep for so many months, for so many years, Orlando Pirates, to say that's the winger that they need. A winger that's very creative, a winger that's unpredictable, a winger that can combine, Nkulego. Because it's exciting for South African football to have such incredible wingers that are so dominant. But credit to the backline, Orlando Pirates as well. I felt Babanigi control, a lot of control, a lot of control. But for me personally, I still need to see more from Mumbat. I know I praised him last week, but can I have consistent performances? I need Orlando Pirates players to understand, that it's for them now. It's very important to understand how to win football games after 3 games, how to perform
That's going to be normal this season.
It's going to be normal. Those players need to understand. That's the standard. That's the difference between.
They're going to come back from Congo or Egypt, and they will play a match 3 days later.
Nkulego, the difference is, I'm sorry to bring Sundowns into this conversation, but that's the standard. For me, the quality of the players.
That's who they're fighting against. It's not even a comparison. Yeah. That's who I am saying they must fight against.
Yeah. Nkulego, you're looking at the traveling, you're looking at all of those things. But for me, it's the character of the players. It needs to switch a little bit. From a point of winning just one match, they need to understand that they need to be consistent each and every 3 days. They need to understand the pressure of winning. That's the difference. That's the standard that those players need to understand. The fact that they won on Tuesday, they won on Friday, they've got another match, they need to deliver the very same starting lineup, consistency. But I just want to shout out Coach Kanu and Coach Athazwani. Right. I believe that Nkulego, they need to be given an opportunity. Nyamcela man ubabuzungu, nyacela chairman man. Can you please give those coaches a chance? Those players look energetic, they look revived, and they look with a lot of confidence. You are small-sided game, I understand. But I'm just asking, I understand. They played against Stelis. It's a very difficult team to play against. Orlando Pirates is on song. The soul is there. You can feel the fans. You can feel the club. You can feel the vibe. It's very difficult to play Scotine. I think you can spare them that game. For me, I think he needs to judge them in the next 10 games, in my opinion. They need to rebuild the team. The team hasn't won since May. We were profiling them in our radio show.
Yes.
They haven't won. They haven't tasted a win since last season, those players. It's already 4 losses in this season, which is, I feel, in my opinion, that the players themselves, they need to come together, talk. They need more senior players in the team. Angaza shoes, they should be involved. Players like Abu Mopara, players like Phyllis. But credit to Coach Atazwana, credit to Coach Nkado for what they've done so far.
All right, there you go. Thank you very much to Lindo. Thank you very much to you as well for watching us. Yeah, it's been a night for me. I haven't done 4 videos in one night in a very long time. Shane will come back next week. Thank you very much for watching our videos. At iDiskiTV, Times was betting.